Happy Friendsgiving, Miss Clara. The reunion. Hello again, friends. Remember me? It's Wig. It's been quite some time since I've shared my adventures. Well, I've been right here with Miss Clara in my forever home, and we've both been doing quite well. Now, today is a very special occasion. Miss Clara's having friends and family over for a Friendsgiving celebration. I know it's a big deal because it's been a very long time since she's been visited by friends and family. This year, Raven and her mom have decided to do most of the planning, and Miss Clara was free to invite friends who were near and dear to her. She, of course, called Rochelle, who was more than delighted to attend with her +1 Ed, who recently returned from Paris. Ed, who was spending time with his sister Miss J, was never one to turn down a party and wondered if Miss J could tag along. Rochelle checked with Miss Clara, who said the more the merrier. The big day was finally here. Miss Clara and I were both excited as we awaited the arrival of our special guests. Raven was first to arrive along with the food her mom prepared. It sure smells yummy. Her mom said she'd be back later after she took care of an errand. Next to arrive were Rochelle with Ed and Miss J in tow. It felt like old times. Though I knew everyone here, Rochelle introduced Ed and Miss J to Miss Clara and Raven. Raven's mom returned with a cake and a big surprise for Miss Clara. Lo and behold, it was Blanche Devereaux. Blanche, my first owner and Miss Clara's sister? Who would have thunk it? I think we were both equally shocked. I always wondered how and where she was after disappearing from my life. And apparently, she and Miss Clara hadn't seen each other in ages, though they talked all the time. She always called her Bibi and mentioned she lived in France, but never expected her to fly in on such short notice. I guess that was all part of the surprise. Ed was also surprised, since he happened to be seated next to Blanche on his flight. And while they shared a great conversation, they had no idea that they also shared a very special wig. It was time to eat. The place was abuzz with warmth, excitement, and chatter. Though I couldn't partake in the wonderful spread, I still had the best seat in the house. I took it all in. I was happy to listen as Blanche complimented Clara's hair. Well, me, of course. As you can tell by now, I never grow tired of compliments. Miss Clara thanked her and said, well, I have to credit Rochelle for that. It's quite a long story, actually. Blanche said, well, I have all evening. Rochelle told them all the story of my life at her beauty school, where she met Miss Clara. Then, of course, she had to tell everyone about Ed, who gifted me. Well, you all remember the story, but it was all new to Blanche. Ed, of course, told everyone that he got me from his sister, Miss J, who kept me after her theatrical performances were over. Well, as everyone got to know each other and talked throughout the evening, Miss J happened to mention the name of the esteemed production house where I was stored before becoming a part of her theatrical performances. Almost immediately, Blanche recalled her assistant misplacing her beloved wig, me, and a few other items at the same location before her retirement. By the time an attempt was made to search and retrieve everything, it was too late, as the new production Miss J was in was underway, and everything had already been rearranged and relocated. Blanche almost seemed a little misty-eyed as she recalled the sequence of events that led to my misplacement turned adventure. As Blanche spoke, I realized that I wasn't just an ordinary wig. Blanche said I had been custom made just for her so there was no way that she would have casually abandoned me. I must admit, I felt a lot better hearing that. Then, Blanche said she even had her special initials and logo sewn on a small tag on the inside. It was her nickname, BB, and a small butterfly embroidered in gold. Of course it would be gold. Blanche was just that type of person. Then Miss Clara, listening to her sister talk so fondly of this long-lost wig, removes me to everyone's surprise. In an attempt to lighten the mood, she said, "Well, let me see what's under here, Blanche. You never know," she said jokingly. The look on her face revealed something I had known all along, that I was Blanche's original wig. Through all the performances, color changes, beauty school, and even Raven's fiasco, there it was, BB. The butterfly was a bit brown, but it was unmistakable. Miss Clara almost screamed, "I have her, sis! I have your wig!" And she showed her the initials and logo she had just described. Blanche was in near shock, trying to put that puzzle together. Well, everyone realized what took place and helped put the pieces together, starting with Miss J, who recalled getting her wig from the costume department at the theater company Blanche mentioned. Then, of course, Ed remembered getting me from Mrs. J's home after the production was over. We, of course, heard of Ed's Stravaganza's grand performances and Rochelle's part in my radical transformation, until I eventually became a part of her journey and her school. Enter Miss Clara. Well, you know what happened. And there it was at Friendsgiving. The story of my life unfolded beautifully when everyone at the table realized that they all had something in common. Me, even Raven, who wanted to share her Wonder Woman story. Well, everyone got a good laugh out of that, even me. I've always heard Miss Clara say, "One day we'll all look back at this and laugh." Well, that day had finally arrived. What a lovely surprise reunion for us all. I realized that even though I was misplaced by Blanche's assistant, everything turned out just fine. If that didn't happen, perhaps I would never have met Miss J, Ed, Rochelle, Miss Clara, and even Raven. Not a bad life for a wig, right? This turned out to be the best Friendsgiving for everyone. I feel great. I have a wonderful home and a loving family. I hope that just like me, you have many wonderful adventures and you're surrounded by those you love. From me, Wig, and all my family, happy Thanksgiving, everyone!